I'm so glad we on this right now because you got to give me a better understanding of how in the hell Florida State go undefeated and don't make the playoffs.
And my boy's about to take care of those people that did Florida State wrong. You know, I'm from Florida, and there's a rivalry, but that was wrong. If you stay undefeated, you deserve to be in.
This is what's wrong with college sports, and this is why I don't watch it. I don't watch it. I think it's BS. Now it's become politics.
In the penultimate rankings, Texas was well behind Florida State, right? Like significantly behind. Texas, I think, was 7th, and Florida State was in one of the 4 spots. Texas beat a far lesser team on Saturday than Florida State did. How does Texas jump Florida State? They put the 4 teams in they wanted to put in. And let's just say it. How the hell is Florida State ahead of Georgia? Someone explain to me how in the end, final, Paul, if Florida State played Georgia right now, to use your logic, Georgia would be a 3-touchdown favorite.
They are a 14-point favorite.
So they leave them there to what? To make them feel even worse?
Well, thanks for watching Numbskull News. And today we're talking about the fallout from Florida State getting screwed out of the CFP committee. Now, the immediate fallout, of course, is just a plethora of people losing their freaking minds on Twitter. Plus, we got politicians involved. We got Senator Tim Scott coming in hot. You got Ron DeSantis coming in. I mean, everyone wants Florida State the hell out of the ACC. Now, do I blame the ACC? Do I blame Jim Phillips? I mean, they did kind of vote against the 12-team playoff that would have happened this year. Overall, no, it's not really their fault. Okay, just the committee does not think much of the ACC. That's bottom line. And that's where the major future fallout, and there's already rumors coming. Put on your tinfoil hats, people, because we're going to go in to the conspiracy theories. We're going to go in to the rumors, because why not? I mean, the media damn sure does whenever it suits them. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, there's all kinds of crap, whether it's MHVR3 all over Twitter or Locked On Big 12. And that's with the young man Drake Toll, who puts on a pretty damn good show, entertaining. And yeah, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendo, a lot of tinfoil hat conspiracy theories on Locked On Big 12 with Jake Toll. But I am here for that. I like it. Keep it up, young guy. But apparently a crap ton of teams have called the Big 12. Talking Miami, talking Virginia Tech and Virginia. Now, how true is all that? Don't know. Don't know. There's also talk about a possible merger. Now, that's where I get really interested in what's going on here with the Big 12, with the ACC. And before I get into all that, let Florida State and Clemson, obviously they want the hell out of the ACC. I believe there's already been a deal, maybe not worked out, but I think Jim Phillips and the rest of the ACC already know that they got to let these guys out. They're going to come up with a optimal buyout where the conference still is going to make a pretty nice chunk of change. It's not going to be the full whatever it is from the grant of rights. It's not going to be what the bylaws say it's going to be. They're going to negotiate that down. The last thing the ACC wants to do is have to deal with a huge lawsuit involving Florida State and Clemson and have to spend tens of millions of dollars on that shit, not knowing if you're going to be successful or not. That sucks. So it's better to say, hey, $100 million go, $150 million go, whatever it may be. Here's it's a hell of a lot less than $500 million or $700 million or whatever the hell it could be for those two teams to get out now. So I think that's the way that's going to end up playing out, is those two teams are going to negotiate a buyout with the ACC and take their ass elsewhere. Whether that's the SEC or the Big Ten, we'll find out. Now, is any other team going to be willing to go and put that much money out there? I don't know. Miami, they could probably scrape together the money. But you're talking about a small private school. I don't know if the people within that school, the higher ups, the chancellors, the president, and whoever else, I don't know that they want to throw that kind of money out there. Same thing with UNC. I'm sure UNC's got plenty of money to pay whatever they need to pay. But to the people within that academic institution, that elite academic institution, that they want to spend $100-200 million, whatever it's going to be, for a buyout to leave the ACC. I think what we found out with a lot of big time academic programs, the people within those programs, they're not really that into sports. And to spend that kind of absurd amount of money just to get out of a conference, it's going to take some convincing. So I don't know if they'd be just all fire on board to do that right away. And do they have a landing spot? I mean, I've heard UNC is the first choice for the Big Ten or the SEC, both of them. But is that a smokescreen? Did those conferences just leak that out there just to make the other conference go after them and not go after the team they really want? Look, this is sports. That kind of crap happens all the time. False leakage, false reports, false facts. That's the birthplace of alternative facts is sports. Maybe it's true. I don't know. And does ESPN want to fork over that kind of money for UNC? I don't know. Does Fox want to fork over that kind of money for UNC? I don't know. I find it hard to believe, but maybe. I mean, who knows? But I just have my doubts, as I've always have, and until UNC walks into the Big Ten door or the SEC door, I'm going to have my doubts. That's just the way it is. And at first I was thinking, look, maybe with everybody calling the Big 12, if that's true, not everybody obviously, but a lot of programs calling the Big 12, maybe they'll have enough people to dissolve that conference and it actually, the ACC goes away. But does the Syracuse vote for that, or Wake Forest, or Boston College, or SMU, who's just getting there, or Cal or Stanford? Now, maybe you can make a decision before they actually, join the conference for real, which I think is in the middle of, I'm not sure if it's July or August, but somewhere in there they become official members and they can have a vote. I don't think they actually have a vote right now. But, I mean, is Notre Dame on board? I don't know. Do you have enough votes to dissolve the conference? That's the question. I don't know. You always heard, it takes 8 teams. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, if it took 8 teams, it would have been done by now. You would think. But hell, we'll have to see about that too. And I don't even know if that's a thing. I don't know. Because if you have to get all the members on board, I seriously doubt you can get all the members on board. Now, do I believe other teams now want to leave for the Big 12? Yeah, I do. And look, I was one of those people that said, look, no ACC team is going to go to the Big 12 because the money is basically even. Why go through all that? Well, you go through all that because you want access to the playoff. So when you have a blue blood ACC team that's undefeated 13-0 and they can't get into the playoff, that's a big wake-up call. That means you're not on the Big 12's level, because we got TCU in last year who didn't win the conference. You got Texas, one-loss Texas got in, Big 12 schedule and all, over your undefeated ACC champ. And we all know it's bullshit. We know that CFP is bullshitting. Well, we didn't feel they could win a title. You felt Cincinnati could win a title? Don't give me that shit. You had no idea if Ohio State back in 2014 on their third string quarterback, if they could win a title. They did, but you didn't know it. So stop. By the way, Tim Brando brought up something on Twitter, which I was thinking in my head, and I was actually going to throw that out there in this video. I'm glad other people had thought of it as well, which is if Georgia had won, then Texas would not be in the playoff, because Georgia would be in, and it'd just be, okay, Georgia, Florida State, all undefeateds. They all go in. Very simple for the CFP committee. But when Alabama won, it really threw everything through the works, because how do you put Alabama in and then leave Texas out? You can't. So they did the stupid ass thing and leave Florida State out. So, well, it's the quarterback. No, it doesn't work like that. No one's buying it. So that's why we're in this mess now, of course. But let's talk about merger. Now, I've talked about merger between the Big 12 and the ACC before. The UNC president himself had brought it up as a possibility back in the day, back months ago. And now, when you're talking, you have Utah, you have the Arizona schools, and you have Colorado now coming into the Big 12. Now the Big 12's prowess and the brand itself is being elevated even further, even though you're losing Texas and Oklahoma. And now the schools in the ACC are looking around, and it's like, look, this isn't good. This is bad. And they're about to work out a deal for Florida State and Clemson to get the hell out of there. And if anybody else wants to get out, whoever can go to the SEC or the Big Ten, it may behoove them to go ahead and pay whatever gargantuan fee, because even though it may not be $500 million, $100 million is still pretty damn big, or $150 million, $200 million, whatever it is. It may be enough for them to get the hell out of the ACC and into one of those two conferences and start getting paid, like for real get paid. But when I brought up merger before, of course I had Tar Heel fans, I had some ACC fans come after me, even a Big Ten fan for whatever the hell reason. I guess he's just a prick and wanted to do it. But I had other people coming at me like, hey, why would why would you merge? Why would you want to get involved with the Big 12? Big 12's crap. No one wants to be associated with the Big 12. Well, that's quickly fading away, because as we all know, when it comes to sports, it is about the money. And the Big 12, apparently the CFP committee likes the Big 12. They have a certain amount of respect for the Big 12. I said it once and I'll say it again. TCU lost the conference championship game and remained the third seed in a 4-team playoff. Explain that to me. And by the way, the ACC, no team. 0 teams. This year, 0 teams. Year before that, 0 teams. It's been a minute since you've been in the playoff. But the way it's looking is that may be, because there's rumor, of course, of Jim Phillips and Brett Yormark getting together, having conversations, talking about this possible merger. And if you think it can't work, then you're an idiot. If you think those ACC teams, Duke, Miami, whoever's doesn't leave, wouldn't be all for that, you're stupid. Because look, both those conferences have their own media rights deal. So it's not something that's hard to do. They're already paying for themselves. So what does that mean, this merger? You play together. There's other revenues besides your media rights deal you can pull together and you can share. Scheduling, big time scheduling amongst each other. And I know some Big 12 fans, are like, man, I sure as hell wouldn't want Stanford or Cal. I didn't want them before. I wouldn't want them here now. Again, that would go a long way with Utah, Arizona State, who are coming in as full members to really ingratiate themselves into this new conference, not just the Big 12, but this big mega conference that could possibly happen. And to have something like that with the partnerships of ESPN and of Fox, because this basketball in that mega conference, holy shit. I mean, you're talking a conference tournament that is like a couple of steps down from the NCAA. That's how big that son of a bitch would be. It'd be the most popular conference tournament of all of them. The biggest deal, the biggest event of all the conference tournaments. Talking about people waiting with bated breath. And if UNC is a part of it, and Duke, along with the Big 12 teams and the other teams in the ACC, like Louisville, who's pretty damn good at basketball, Virginia, Syracuse, Boston College, they're not bad. Wake Forest competes all the time at basketball, puts together a good program most years. Now, when you get to 2031 and the Big 12's deal is up, how does that work with a merger? Does it go past that? Is it a certain period of time? Don't know. But for the here and now, it may be the best thing for both conferences in terms of survival. And I'm not saying the Big 12 is in some, oh my God, we're going to die kind of place like the ACC is kind of looking at. And by the way, this wouldn't be some kind of alliance. Yeah, we've seen how those work out. No. You're talking about something that has pen and paper legal ramifications and actual merger between the two conferences. And there was some talk with the Pac-2. They can get involved in this. I don't know about that because they don't have a TV deal. And if they get a TV deal, it's not going to be for the same kind of money that the Big 12 and the ACC currently make. That's not going to be that. So I don't see them getting in on this. But one other thing that this merger will help with, the ACC network. That's going to suffer a little bit with the loss of Florida State and the loss of Clemson because it's coming. And possibly if you lose UNC or another school. If you combine with the Big 12, that's a whole hell of a lot more content for this ACC network. Keep in mind, the Big 12 does not have a network. So that's more revenue that can be shared throughout that whole mega conference. I'm pro merger. I think that would be awesome. I think a big mega conference gives you a big footprint in the college football world and definitely in the college basketball world. Actually, to be the biggest footprint. It's a win-win. It's a way to kind of, throwing up some sandbags and with a flash flood coming. It's the way to guard yourself. And like I said, I don't think the Big 12 is in any kind of trouble anytime soon. But you got to always look to the future. You always got to look to the future, and if you can, put some rust prevention out there. Fire protection, whatever you want to, however you want to look at it, you protect yourself for later on. Because we all know, if any of the media companies can screw you, they're going to screw you. If the Big Ten or the SEC can screw you, they're going to screw you. The federal government's going to screw you, they're going to screw you. Even your players getting together and suing and all that kind of bullshit. Everyone's trying to get you. So you got to protect yourself. CYA, to me, that's what a merger represents to the Big 12. And for the ACC, it's survival. So I'm a proponent of that. I think it would be exciting. But let's wait and see if it's going to happen or not. We don't know. It's all rumor. It's all speculation. Anyway, that's all I got on this crap. I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.